All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. We got the jump starter right in front of us here, so let's go ahead and see what we have inside the box. And we do need to use this because one of the vehicles on property has a dead battery and we need to jump it. Now, as we open this up, just like all my videos, top link in the description box below will be this exact same jump starter where you guys can read more about it and pick it up yourself after the video is done. Okay, let's go ahead and get this guy on out and take it for a little test run here. We do have a handle. It's a nice nylon case to it here. We got our instruction manual. Definitely give that a read over before you do use it for the first time, because this is a beefy, nice jump starter with compressor. We have our power cable here to obviously charge it up. You do have a cigarette adapter as well if you don't have enough juice in the tank. And let's get this guy on out of here. And then in this pouch is going to be our prongs, or I should say our leads. Nice copper inserts there, as we can see, coming to our adapter down below. And then we have our air compressor hose right here, which has all your different attachments for sports activities. You do even have an adapter for a road bike, mountain bike, inner tube type tire, which is really nice right here as well. This is your main valve, as we can see. So like for my mountain biking tire, I would use this. I'd screw that on top of my stem, my valve stem, and then this would go over the top of this, clamp that down. Then on the back of your jump starter, you have your little valve right here where this screws into this to be able to fill up. Now, obviously you don't need any adapters if you're going straight onto your inner tube. For a car tire, you would just use this one here. Wrap that back up when you're not using it. Down here on the bottom, looks like there's an LCD screen. We're gonna get to that in just a second. Your power in, your on and off button, your fast USB, 5 volt, 2.1 amp insert, and then a 5 volt 10 amp insert over here. So you have two different options for USB to keep your phone charged as well. Coming over here, you have two LED lights right here. And underneath this flap right here is going to be your insert for your prongs right here. Up top here, we have our 12 volt air pump input, our inflate with wireless, inflate with adapter right here. So you have two different options to inflate. And it looks like we have another LCD screen right here as well. Alrighty, great news. It looks like they shipped it 100% as I plugged it in here. So on the bottom, you do have your percentage symbol here. The input, I have the power cable inputted in here. So if I take that out, obviously it goes blank there. So with the power cable out of it, I'm gonna go ahead and hit my power button here, and we have out now at 100%. All right, flipping it back over here, we see PSI at 0.0, and this right here is you can preset it here for bars, 2.5 bars, PSI. If I wanted to go higher, there's PSI at 4, 4.5, PSI 36, that's for your car. So you flip through the different ones right here for, there's your bars for that, your bars for car, etc. So that's pretty cool there. Alrighty, folks, this is going to be a prime example here. We just had another snowstorm after big snowstorms, which melted, and then we had nice weather, and then it's back to being really chilly again. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and pop the hood. We're going to follow the directions, and this Toyota 4Runner is completely dead, and we're going to show you a 20 Fahrenheit jump start with this machine. So let's go ahead and connect it. First thing we're going to do here is we're going to power on the machine. Now, as you can see here, I still have 100%. Now, for a completely dead car, you do need to have the machine above 50%. For something like maybe a lawnmower battery or something very small, it could do it 25% or over, but just make sure that you completely recharge it and store it properly. So if that something happens to you where you break down on the side of the road, etc., you can get back up and running. Okay, now looking at this particular battery, you'll notice that both cables are black. Now, very slightly, that battery terminal cap right there is off of the top of it, but that's how you can kind of determine that it's positive, or look very carefully and you'll see right next to it right here is positive. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put the positive on the positive, which is the red, and the black on the negative, which is the black one. Our machine is already on, and then we're going to plug this into the machine, making sure that our cables are not touching each other when it is plugged into the machine. Just like this here. And the front screen is for PSI, so don't worry about that. And you have about 120 seconds to crank it over. Now, directions state don't try to do 5 consecutive cranks without it working. So let's go ahead and go inside and we'll turn it over. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, make a long story short, I thought I was filming and it literally cranked over in about 2 seconds. Let me just go ahead and show you here. And that's now my second start with it on the battery. You do need to disconnect it, but it literally started after 2 seconds, and this 4Runner has been sitting and dead for months now. That's an excellent machine. Let's go look at our battery life and see what we got here. So this definitely passes my test in 20-degree snowy weather. Let's take a look at the machine here. Let's go ahead and take off our cables, making sure they don't touch. The machine is off right now, so it probably does that for safety. Let's undo our cable right here. And so I'm not sure, I wasn't paying attention to the unit. I didn't get outside after the first jump, but I'm at 75%, and that to me is worth every single penny, especially not having to depend on somebody else for jumper cables. And I could even jump another vehicle with this unit. Now my dad's truck, the battery should start. If it doesn't, I haven't started this one in about 3 weeks. If it doesn't, I'm going to do the same exact thing, and we'll show you that if that needs to transpire or not. But that's absolutely fantastic. Now, another great feature, look at this bum tire. This does have a slow leak in it. We're going to go ahead and start inflating this with the remaining 75% battery life left in this. Now, of course, you can use your cigarette adapter, but I just literally powered this car on. We're going to let the alternator run that battery for a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and plug in the tire adapter here. Now, again, you can charge it right here. Inflate with wireless just means that it's not having the cigarette adapter, or you can click over to number 2 position and that will inflate it with the cigarette adapter. That is with it on right there. Let's turn that off for right now, and we'll go over to PSI. Let's go ahead and connect this. I have my hose adapter connected to the tube, which is around the back of the unit. Let's go ahead and plug this in and start inflating. With a completely dead tire like this, this might take a little while, but let me go ahead and show you an example here. All right, we got it clamped on right there. Everything's looking good. Got my PSI right here. I'm going to inflate, and now we're inflating here. I'm up to 5.5 PSI. So again, this would take a little bit of time, and actually I might have a crack now because of the winter time. I don't know if this is going to inflate or not. Well, I'm up to 6. Obviously that's too dangerous to drive, but I'm just giving you an example. So we'll let this run for a little bit, but that might be leaking out of the edge because that's pretty, that tire doesn't look too good right there. So anyway, it is inflating. We're at 6.5 right now. We'll let that go for a little bit. Obviously, I'm setting it right here, but do be careful with the snow, because if you place it upright like this in the snow, remember you have your USB ports on the bottom. Let me turn that off for a second. You have your USB ports on the bottom that you can charge your cell phone as well. I've been in a predicament where my van died. I lost all charge. If I had this, I could charge my phone. I called AAA and said, my phone's about to die. Here's the address. Help. Anyway, so let's go ahead and crank this up a little bit more. It's actually inflating. It's not taking as long as I thought it was. So this unit is definitely a big thumbs up in my book. Up to 8 right now. We'll let it run for a little bit. All right, we're up to 16 PSI after a few minutes here. My dad's truck did start, so there's no need to, barely started, but no need to jump that one. 16.5 PSI. As you can see, it's no longer flat against the soil. It's actually having some liftoff here, which is a lot better for the car to have air in the tires. 17 PSI now since I've been talking to you. And we'll do that for the other back one as well, which is kind of a bum tire, just needs new rubber. They don't look too bad, but they're definitely old. 17.5 PSI, 18 PSI. So in 49 seconds, it's gone up 2 PSI. That's pretty good in my book. Also, don't forget about your LED lights as well. Even though they are small, they do light up enough light to be able to see what you're doing, which is nice. Again, 2 of those on the side of it here. And you just hit the power button one more time when it's on to illuminate that. Now we're down to 50% after 1 or 2 jumps. And then let me show you this. This is a nice little safety feature as well here. So you hit your middle button here. You go ahead and toggle this. This is a safety feature for how far it will pump it up before it senses it, and then it will shut off at that PSI. What's nice about that is literally I could go back inside the house. Let me go ahead and bump this up to 45 PSI now, and then all you do, so right now we're at 34, and so I could literally go back inside the house. It'll cut off at 45 so you don't overinflate, which is a huge thumbs up in my book for a safety feature for the unit. 36 PSI, looking absolutely fantastic. And right on the dot, 45, machine turned off. Fantastic. 45 PSI. Took a little bit of time, but not too terribly long. And ladies and gentlemen, this unit is worth its weight in gold, especially roadside assistance. You don't have to wait. Jump yourself, get back on the road, and get going. Once again, top link in the description box below will be this exact same unit, where you guys can pick it up yourself. And let's go ahead and take a look here. Now, it does go in increments of 25. So even though it does say 50%, it's probably a little bit lower than that because it goes 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100%. So it's probably a little bit lower than 50%, but 2 jumps and 1 full tire, still 50% left. I'm gonna take this inside and recharge it. Just like all my videos, please don't go into debt for anything I do make a video about, but if you do have the cash and it does intrigue you, please go ahead and purchase on away. If you wouldn't mind hitting that thumbs up button on your way out, helps the channel, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It did a great job. We will see you on the next video. My name's Chris. We'll see you on the next one.